Good. You hit on me. We can get it out of the way that I'm not interested.
Great. Let's talk more about this mind-numbing nonsense. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a better idea.
The world was meant to witness Meghan Markle's glorious return, the moment she shook off the shadows of royal life and reclaimed her place in Hollywood's spotlight. A comeback meant to announce, loud and clear, that the Duchess of Sussex had returned as a commanding lead, unstoppable and untouchable. But the reality? Insiders are calling it a nightmare, a full-blown PR disaster, and, in the words of one shaken studio executive, the most chaotic on-set event of the year. On Wednesday, November 5th, paparazzi and insiders alike confirmed it. Meghan Markle had stepped back into the acting world. She was on set, cameras rolling, but what should have been a triumphant re-entry exploded into scandal almost immediately. And then came the leaked scene, the one she allegedly demanded vanish into oblivion. Hollywood is still reeling. Directors whisper in closed-door meetings. Producers pace hallways with tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Casting agents quietly update their "do not touch" lists. The footage, thought erased from every server, now lurks in inboxes across Los Angeles, sparking panic with every click. From the moment the clip surfaced in underground circles, everything unraveled. According to those who saw it, the deleted scene wasn't merely unflattering, it was a seismic on-camera implosion. Not a graceful, tearful performance worthy of awards, but a gut punch to reputation, the kind of moment that could haunt a career for a decade. And what sparked it? A single line. Just one line of dialogue. Something so simple, so innocuous, yet Meghan loathed it enough to halt production entirely. She abandoned the script, stormed the set, and unleashed a tirade so intense that crew members froze mid-take, unsure if they were witnessing a meltdown or the opening act of an HR investigation. Before we dissect the infamous deleted scene, already whispered about as Hollywood's worst-kept secret, let's rewind. Meghan's comeback didn't start with cheers. It began with suspicion, whispers, and plenty of sideways glances from those who remembered her last infamous walk-off. Could she even survive a set without chaos this time? Meanwhile, on the other side of Hollywood, she was juggling the Netflix Christmas special, a culinary misfire by any measure, where she styled herself as the ultimate domestic icon. Sources reveal that Meghan's team pitched this return as a bold reintroduction, a character crafted to radiate strength, intelligence, and emotional resonance for modern women. But insiders say the reality was far more personal. Modern women apparently meant one thing. Every word, every frame, every camera angle had to be approved by Meghan herself. She rewrote dialogue, rearranged shots, dictated lighting setups, and ensured her character could only ever appear heroic, flawless, untouchable. One producer admitted, "You weren't directing Meghan. Meghan was directing you." That's the energy she brought, palpable from the moment she stepped on set. And the cast felt it instantly. The tension, the whispers, the chaos, this is how the scene leaked. Even in the brief moments she appeared cheerful, waving at a crew member on her way in, there was an undercurrent of something darker, something everyone on set instinctively knew. This was about to get very, very messy. Whispers started circulating through the production offices almost immediately. Some actors had taken to calling the project, behind closed doors, the Meghan Markle self-love story. Every tweak, every rewrite seemed to elevate her character into an untouchable heroine, more glamorous, more misunderstood, more untouchable than reality would allow. Even the writers felt the shift. One insider confessed that by the third rewrite, the script had ceased to exist. It had become a shrine to Meghan herself, yet the studio pushed forward. Controversial, unpredictable, polarizing, she drew eyes, clicks, and headlines like no one else. The stakes were too high to walk away. Until the moment that no one saw coming. It was a single scene, a dramatic showdown between Meghan's character and a co-lead. A scene designed to reveal fragility, to humanize, to earn empathy. A line so innocent, so delicate, that it should have barely registered. But the second Meghan laid eyes on it, the world froze. She stared, expression unreadable at first, before whispering, or was it demanding, "Why am I saying this?" The director tried to push forward, insisting the line was vital to the emotional arc. But Meghan refused. In her eyes, the line weakened her character. One insider recalled, she demanded it change on the spot. The director refused. That was the exact moment the dam broke. So it came to this: Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, back on set, and the entire production teetering on the edge of chaos. Crew members recall a suffocating silence, the kind of silence where everyone pretends to adjust mics or check scripts, while their minds scream, "Oh no, here we go." And then she snapped. Not a muttered complaint. Not a diva quip. A full-blown, red-faced, voice-shaking explosion. Sources say she accused the writers of sabotage, the director of undermining her, and the studio of weaponizing her vulnerability. She declared the script a trap, a betrayal, and demanded right there, in front of the entire cast and crew, that the scene be rewritten immediately. No notes, no lunch break, no later. Now, the cameras didn't stop. And for the studio executive watching remotely, panic set in. A text allegedly sent to a colleague read, "Is this an act? Is this real? What's happening?" It was real. The footage of the meltdown, the very scene Meghan begged to erase, was deleted from the official servers. Or so she thought. Because someone somewhere had clipped it, saved it, and shared it with a circle of so-called trusted insiders. And like wildfire, the clip began traveling through Hollywood's underground, Telegram groups, directors' private chats, gossip chains where scandals ferment before erupting. Within weeks, every major studio in LA had heard whispers. Some had seen it firsthand. Others possessed screenshots. Everyone was talking. And the consensus? Devastating. Not career-ending on its own, but reputation-shredding, brand-destroying, the polar opposite of the triumphant comeback she envisioned. One producer warned, if that clip ever goes public, it's over. Her comeback dies before it even airs. After the meltdown, Meghan refused to film anything else that day. She left the set, furious, humiliated, convinced she had been wronged. Her team instantly went into crisis mode. Writers were pulled in for last-minute revisions, directors summoned to discuss sensitivities, producers cautioned to choose words with extreme care. Some crew requested transfers to other productions. One even walked off permanently. Then came the real shock. The studio paused production entirely, forced to evaluate, was retaining Meghan worth the chaos? And just when the situation couldn't escalate further, the deleted scene leaked. What should have been a careful, controlled comeback campaign disintegrated into chaos. Within hours, the footage wasn't just circulating quietly, it was dissected, paused, zoomed in on, sent to directors, producers, casting executives, and talent managers. Opinions formed instantly, and none of them were gentle. One director reportedly replied to the clip with a single line, "Nope, not touching that vortex." Another wrote, "Why is she fighting the script like it insulted her ancestors?" And yet, the worst reaction was brewing behind closed doors in a top studio office. The studio exec who had once flirted with the idea of signing Meghan now had a sinking realization. Cameras don't lie. She had revealed herself, unfiltered, and now the entire town of Hollywood had seen it. One writer who covered the scene noted a bizarre protocol. Meghan's team announced her entrance as the Duchess of Sussex, even though no one else was in the room. The statement hung in the air like a warning. As for Harry, Meghan says, quote, "That's when word reached my team, and that's when panic went nuclear." Emails began flying like wildfire. Crisis consultants were summoned. A reputation fixer, the kind Hollywood calls when actors scream on set or assault photographers, was seen sprinting into Meghan's Montecito estate. He reportedly delivered the unvarnished truth her team didn't want to hear. "We can't bury this. Someone wants this out." Those 4 words sent shivers down her camp spine. Betrayal. Someone on the inside. Someone trusted. And Meghan loathes being outplayed. Instantly, her team launched a manhunt for the leak. Server logs scoured, staff interrogated, private legal threats sent. But while they hunted shadows, Hollywood was already moving on to the conversation Meghan feared most. At CAA, whispers of volatility began circulating. At WME, coordinators quietly muttered she was impossible to direct. At Netflix, a showrunner joked bitterly, "She wants to run the set? Then let her fund the show herself." By morning, half the industry had formed an opinion, not from the comeback project, but from that brief, explosive clip. 5 years of careful crafting, professionalism, elegance, poise, empowerment, erased in 2 minutes. And yet, the clip wasn't even the worst part. The real danger lay in the questions now being asked in hushed tones. Is she difficult? Unstable? Self-sabotaging? Why does drama trail her like a shadow? In Hollywood, whispers metastasize into narratives, narratives harden into cautionary tales, and cautionary tales turn into casting blacklists. 2 days later, the studio convened an emergency summit, a glass-walled conference room. 12 executives, 3 lawyers, and a PR rep who looked like they hadn't slept in days. One agenda item: what do we do about Meghan? Opinions clashed. Some argued for recasting. Others warned firing her could backfire publicly. A quiet faction recommended scrapping the entire project, cutting losses, walking away. And then one voice, finally daring to say aloud what everyone else was thinking, asked the loaded question: if she melts down like this in episode 1, what happens by episode 6? The room went silent. Awkward. Heavy. Nothing was resolved publicly, though insiders say private contingency plans were quietly drafted. None were favorable for Meghan. Just as her team prepared a polished comeback statement, something far uglier dropped into the rumor mill. The crew member who quietly left during the meltdown? They hadn't just walked away. They had marched into another studio and spilled everything. That studio passed it along, then another, until a reporter got wind. Tabloids started circling, not about the deleted scene, but about Meghan herself, shutting down scenes, threatening to walk, defying male directors, rewriting emotional beats to avoid vulnerability. Every secret the studio had tried to suppress now shimmered just beneath the press's radar, ready to explode.